What's going on, My Bad Adventure Teams? My Bad here, coming in today with Tusk Knife Tuesdays Live. And many of y'all might not know who uh, Chris Julian is. Chris Julian is a bladesmith that I met last year at a festival in Heber Springs, Arkansas. He is a part of that's the Arkansas Knife Guild or
Yep.
Blade Guild. Arkansas Knife Makers
Yep.
Blade Guild, something like that. I'm not extremely familiar with it, but Chris is going to be able to tell us about it today. He's also a martial artist and an outdoorsman, a woodsman. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris.
Well, like you said, I'm from Heber Springs, Arkansas. I've been making knives for about 7 years, and like you said, I'm part of the Arkansas Knife Makers Guild. Basically, we take on anyone that wants to either learn how to make knives or has been making knives for a while. It's just a great learning experience and get to know people and learn different techniques on how to make our knives, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, and you can always learn something else new from somebody else. So, but yeah, I make a whole bunch of different styles of knives. I've made a few kitchen knives, hunting knives, self-defense knives, stuff like that. And as you said, I'm a martial artist. I've taught martial arts full-time over in Little Rock for about four and a half years. So martial arts is kind of a big thing. So self-defense knives kind of is what got me into this stuff. That and, my pocket knives kept on breaking, but that's what happens when you get cheap pocket knives. I've seen some of the stuff you've had on your channel. I'm like, okay, maybe I might want to get back into, some of the folders and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't own cheap pocket knives. I own inexpensive knives, and I own some pretty high-end knives. I mean,
yeah,
there's levels to it, and with those levels, there's a law of diminishing returns. You can, what's going on, Mountain Moon Adventures? What's going on, Joe? You can take a $400 knife and use it all day long if you want to. But I'll take this $230 knife and I'll whoop its ass all day long too. And that's also my opinion. Right now, my everyday carry that I'm testing right now is the Asper Knives Nomad, and this is about a $90 knife. The most inexpensive knife that's in my arsenal is about $30, but it's a wonderful knife.
Yeah. Well, I was getting stuff from like the feed stores and stuff like that, but I guess
the feed store in Heber Springs, right beside where you get your seafood.
Yeah,
They sell cattlemen's, and those sod busters are really good knives. That's only a $14 knife.
Yeah, they've changed hands since I was 14. Whenever I got some knives from them, so but yeah,
the owners,
it's kind of
are cool.
Yeah, I've heard. It's kind of a good thing that I got tired of those kind of knives and got into this thing, I guess. So it's been a lot of fun doing it. Started out as a hobby and then ended up kind of as a part-time job, I guess. So
what's going on, Jesse? Yeah, but I mean, your passion for knives, you said that a while ago that it stemmed from your martial arts experience. When I met you last year, you really wasn't making a lot of martial arts knives. Now, granted, you was making knives in the middle of the town of Heber Springs, where there's a lot of good old boys and hillbillies. So I saw more of a skinner, cleaner, camp knife type style that you was doing. Do you normally make any self-defense blades now?
Yeah, and actually, everyone always asks me this. Do you do stock removal or do you do forging? I do both, because there's certain styles of knives that it's easier to do the stock removal, and other ones that's a lot easier to forge. I would personally like forging because I like the forge finish. Some people like it, some people don't. It really just depends. I actually have some blanks here that I had laser cut out, and that there is a design of one of my self-defense style knives. Got the karambit style handle, but with the straight blade. One of the problems with the karambits is you got that curved blade. It's harder to do the bevels on the inside. I've done them before. They're a pain in the butt sometimes, but they can be done. But straight blades are a little bit easier. And when you're doing something like this, where you're trying to get them out a little bit faster, that's usually the way that I like going with those.
You know what's interesting about the carambids in my style of work in the construction industry? I actually use a carambid quite often, and that's mostly for sheetrock or electrical.
Yes, they're great for cutting because they grab on.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it would be a great garden tool as well. You don't have to have a carambid just for self-defense. My favorite garden tool is the hawk bill from why can I not think of it? I'm gonna get it out just because I can't think of it. But you go ahead and talk about your knives.
But yeah, no, carambids, they actually started out as a garden tool, but they ended up being used as a self-defense tool because they're easy to conceal, they're nice and sharp. That's nice.
Yeah, it's the honey badger. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Yeah, this is the honey badger. I can't remember the name of it for some reason. It's the honey badger something, but it's in D2. My buddy Salty Red Corn did the finish on it. The force patina.
Nice.
Yeah, we just call it the Tiger Claw now.
Good name for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were saying that caramids started out as gardening tools, and then they evolved into the self-defense tools.
Yeah. At least that's what I've heard. I'm by no means a historian on that kind of stuff. I do know a few things here and there about different knives in the regions that they came from, but yeah.
Well, in the Philippines, like the Parambit and the Pambus, they were all rice cultivating tools and stuff like that. But when it was time to go to war, there was also war tools. A lot of the farming things. What's going on, BC? BC's British Columbia is right outside of Vancouver. He's a very, very cool Canadian cat that kind of lives out in the forest with his girlfriend or his wife. I don't know what Kimbers is. What is Kimbers to you, BC? Nice. Tell me in the comments. But he's him and Kimbers is awesome. But yeah, like when it's time to go to war, a lot of these traditional farming tools end up becoming weapons within themselves. And I can definitely see how a carambid would go from a farming gardening tool to a self-defense weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wifey. Awesome. What's up, Nicholas Edwards? Hey, Nicholas Edwards. That's the dude that I'm gonna have in 4 more Tusk Knife Tuesdays in 3 weeks. Nicholas Edwards, brand new YouTuber, gonna be on Tusk Knife Tuesday live.
Sweet. Now that's one thing I've thought about doing is some YouTube stuff eventually, but I don't have all the equipment and stuff like that for it, as far as cameras and a computer to edit videos and all that. So. But
it's something we was talking about a couple weeks ago as well. I mean, not so much the camera equipment and everything, is maybe this November or something after I've slain a deer and I'm not extremely busy, we'll go up there and shoot some mead making videos and maybe even do a mead review.
Nice.
If you're still down with that.
I'd be down for it.
Oh, yeah. There's Mr. Nichols' link. Everybody that isn't subscribed to Mr. Nichols, go ahead and subscribe to him. I've watched a couple of his videos and I've commented on a couple of his videos. Solid work. He does his own thing, but he's got a good perspective on the EDC carry.
Nice.
So tell me, you started as wanting to get into the self-defense making of knives. What have you evolved into since you started with the self-defense? Have you evolved? Where are you at now?
Okay, so as far as self-defense knives, that one knife that I just showed you that I have laser cut out, that I do stock removal on, I had about 3 other designs before that I was testing out. One whenever I was working over in Little Rock. Like I said, it went from a hobby to kind of a job thing. I I started kind of like, okay, I need something to carry with me. So yeah, I sat there, had one of my friends, he worked at a shop that had, punches and stuff like that to punch out holes and whatnot. So I had him punch out a hole for it, and then I ground the rest of it out. That one kind of started out that way. And then I found a guy that did laser cutting and got into that. But as far as what else I've kind of evolved into, it's gone from self-defense style knives to, hunting knives, mostly. But here recently, I've been finding myself doing Bowie knives. I'm eventually going to start doing some daggers and stuff like that. Some of the Quillian daggers, one to kind of practice up, because I haven't joined the ABS yet. I'm planning on doing that. I know one of the things that I have to do for Mastersmith is a Quillian dagger, and I remember correctly, it has to be Damascus. If I remember correctly, I'm not 100% sure, but that's a long ways off before I even get around to that.
Hey,
But,
BC,
yeah.
we're both on StreamYard, so we can't post. We didn't go to the YouTube to do it. We're just on the StreamYard app. Mr. Chris is on my Instagram. If you can find Chris Julian on my Instagram, and that's the only link he has. He doesn't have a YouTube channel or anything.
No.
But definitely do link him if you can find him, BC.
Yeah. But yeah, I've found myself doing more Bowie knives here lately. I've gone from, and this one here has been used, and I haven't gotten a chance to really clean it off much. But this one here was used for a competition, and it's full tang knife. That's from a leaf spring. Used that one in a competition. But now I'm doing stuff more like this, where it's hidden tang, and this one's here. I'm still working on everything. And what I'm going to be doing with this one is a takedown style Bowie knife. But yeah, I'm doing more stuff like that, trying to expand different little things that I'm doing to, make things a little more fancier.
Yeah. What's going on, Wyatt? How you doing today? Well, since BC doesn't do any other social media besides YouTube, I know the reason why, and I'm sorry, BC, I forgot all about that at the time. I will link his Instagram in the description of the live. I'm gonna link your Instagram.
BC trying to get a hold of me.
Yeah, just in case anybody wants to get a hold of him after this live's over, I will edit it, and when it's posted on YouTube, his link will be in the description.
Yeah. So, and I can probably put one of my cards up here so that way you can get some of the information.
Oh yeah,
on
absolutely.
That too.
Let me bigify you.
Yeah. So what?
Let me make you bigger.
Oh.
If I could not.
Let me get one of my cards out for you. In my box. Excuse me.
I don't know how to bigify him. Nope, that's not it.
Am I bigger
yet?
Oh
man, I'm screwing this up.
It's probably a lot better than what I can do.
Whatever. We're back.
Let's see here. I don't know if the glare.
If y'all can see that, number, that's his links.
Email. Yeah. And then Facebook right there. So if you guys want to screenshot that, we'll still have my links and stuff like that, I guess, over in the Instagram or YouTube video, however you do that. But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the most tech savvy guy. I'm actually one of the least tech savvy guys in this little community that we have here. But
yeah.
What's going on, Grumpy Grunt? Grumpy Grunt's a Marine buddy of mine from Indiana. Wonderful cat. You'd probably like to go see his channel. He's more articulate than I am, and he's way more tech savvy than I am. Even though he's going to downgrade that, but it's not very hard to be better than me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very tech savvy myself, so.
Now we work with our hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I believe we all need some range herbs. That ground out there, when I'm trying to do concrete work, is like cement already.
So you do concrete work for your full-time
Um,
job?
no.
Oh,
I'm doing an addition, and it's got to have a raised platform, and I was digging piers. It's not actually
okay,
concrete work. I'm just making quickcrete piers to set the cement blocks on for the raised
gotcha,
floor.
gotcha.
But it's
No, I
still
do.
still not fun.
Yeah, I do plumbing full-time with my dad, and then part-time I teach martial arts and make knives.
That's
So,
that's still a pretty
but
cool
it's paid my
part-time
bills
job.
before too. So, work
That's
gets
a
slow. It's like,
very
hey,
cool part-time job.
yeah,
Yeah, man. You're a carpenter as well, Nicholas. That's cool. Sounds like me and you got a
nice.
lot of common, man. We're gonna have plenty to talk about in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, you're part of the Arkansas Guild. Is there any was there any requirements for you entering the guild?
Just a $40 yearly membership fee, and that's it. You know, just come down, hang out, have fun. We have competitions. We just started up competitions, and I think it's supposed to be every 3 months we're supposed to do it. But this next one that we're going to do is going to be a Viking sax competition, and that's going to be in January is when we're going to be doing it because of the holiday season with Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that. Everyone's going to be out busy and out of town hanging out with family. Excuse me. So we're going to be doing it a month later than what we normally would do it. But this last time we had a chef's knife and paring knife competition. I still got my paring knife and my chef's knife with me and everything here. Next one we're going to do, like I said, a Viking sax. We're going to be doing a leather cut. We're going to be slicing through leather, 1-inch manila rope chop or cut through it, free hanging. A log firewood chop where we're going to have to split the wood and then also debark it. Then a coconut pommel strike where we have to crack the coconut with the pommel of the knife. And then it also has to shave hair afterwards too. So I think I got everything on that. And they're not only judging on the fit and finish of it, but also how well the fit and finish handles all that. I saw the review you did on that one there. You let me borrow it? Well, that's not a Viking sax. So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't think I can get away with using that. I'm sure it will do very well in the coconut pommel smash, though. You're sitting there hitting that metal.
Everybody's watching.
Lid.
Chris got kind of a sickness from his dad after his dad went to Florida, and I've been dealing with with the crud for about 2 weeks. So forgive me for being a little hoarse, and forgive us for coughing back and forth.
But
yeah, Mountain Moon Adventures. You should have saw that deer clearing that I was doing. I was clearing some brush from my deer stand, and I chopped down on something, and I almost hit my foot. And I was like, well, I knew better than that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of hard to walk out of the woods.
Yeah. I had the side by side right beside me, and my wife and kids were there, so I would have been okay, but it still would not have been fun.
Yeah, no, that would not have been fun.
Hey, BC, I'll show it again, brother. This is the Wyatt Hines. This is the Wyatt Hines Heartstopper. It's his take on the Last Blood knife of Rambo, or whatever that movie was. I never watched it. I watched every single Rambo movie except for the last 2 that came out.
I don't think I've watched any, sadly enough.
Man, the very first Rambo movie was the only Rambo movie that was any good, in my opinion. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but that's okay.
Everyone's got an opinion, man. But no.
So, y'all are doing these competitions at the guild. Is there any specific types of steel parameters in the competitions, or can y'all just bring any kind of crazy steel or any kind of Damascus, leaf spring, anything you find in the junkyard, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. That doesn't really matter what kind of steel. One of the things I did judge on for the chef's knife competitions is they did have a part where, okay, is the material choice good for the purpose that it's intended for? In this case, I had a Damascus 15 and 20 and 1084 for this one here. It's hard to get the pattern because I don't have great lighting here. But with Damascus steel, or carbon steel, excuse me, because they have stainless Damascus too. With carbon steel, obviously it will rust. So anytime you're cutting like tomatoes or any acidic foods, it's going to sit there and get a patina on it, obviously.
Yes.
So you got to keep the thing oiled, otherwise it's going to rust. Whereas stainless steel, you don't have to worry about that. So that's one of the things that they were judging on. And I got a 6 out of my score on that one. So I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I knew it's
BC,
either going to go one way or the
other. I don't know if you can see the comments, but BC has a question for you. The question is, what's your favorite steel to work with?
Ooh, okay. It depends on what you're talking about. Is it to forge or is it to heat treat? Forging, I started out in 1095 and 01. Those are the two steels that I tried. 01 is obviously easy to heat treat because it's an oil quench steel. Whereas 1095, it's supposed to be a little more trickier. I didn't have any problems with it. My dogs are coming over here like, hey, pay attention to me. I didn't have any problems starting out. 1095 is usually not recommended for beginners in knife making due to it's a little more tricky to heat treat. You have to hold it at a certain temp for a certain amount of time, and then you're able to quench it. It's supposed to be, I remember correctly, get the carbides into solution as what you call it. I'm not a metallurgist, so I'm still learning this kind of stuff on that, the heat treat stuff. I do know that you get it up to past non-magnetic, and then you quench it at that point. But 5160 is one of my favorites as far as a tough steel. It's harder to forge. It's harder under the hammer. But as far as a tough knife, that's what I would go with, especially for things like Bowie knives. And it's easy to heat treat.
Okay.
So,
do you have the Knife Steel Compositions app?
No, I don't. I didn't know they had an app for it. Now I'm going to have to look at that.
Yeah. Just get on. I don't know if you got an iPhone or Android.
Yeah.
But you just get on. I get on the Play Store, and I just type in Knife Steel Compositions, and it'll pop up. It's got like a little gray knife instead of a little gray emblem.
Yeah.
Which I know, freaking shit about Knife Steel Compositions. I just like, I know what this popular thing is supposed to do. Let me see what's kind of like it,
Yeah. No, another nice thing about the 10 series steels, 1095, 1084, 1075, and all that, you can make hamones with them. That's the other thing that I like about them. Coming from a martial arts background with the katanas and stuff like that, and that's going to start a whole new thing on that as far as, well, the European swords versus the Eastern swords. I'm like, okay, no, each were for different little things. Anyway, me coming from a martial arts background, I like the hamones. I like the look of them. I don't know if you've seen any of the older Japanese swords with their hamones. If you look at them, the way I've always heard them described is, clouds, treetops, or mountaintops. And whenever you sit there and look at them, you can, after hearing that, you see it and you're like, holy cow, that's crazy.
Most of the ones that I've seen is more cloud.
Yeah. There was one that a guy did on a Facebook group that I'm part of, that chasing the hamon. The guy did it, and I mean, it looked like clouds that had the swirls in it. And I'm like, okay, I want to know how he did that, because that was awesome.
Well, that's mostly from my travels to Japan. I always want to say North Korea for some reason. I've never been there. South Korea. South Korea.
You're still around, okay.
I'm not Dennis Rodman or anything, but in the Philippines, there's no emphasis put on a hamon or really even a heat treat per se on the traditional type of farming tools. It's mostly all about toughness. The tougher it
Yes.
is, the better it's going to be.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of them over there using leaf springs, which that's part of that toughness there.
Yeah. Most of it is. But they'll get a chisel. They'll get a chisel so sharp that like I'm afraid to touch the end of it. It's like wicked sharp. They just sit there and they'll slowly on a wet rock sharpen that thing to. It's more than I can do on my KME.
Really?
And that's saying something.
Wow.
Right on. What else you got for us? Show us some knives, man. What's going on, squirrel magnet fishing and outdoors?
Yeah. One of the things I've kind of gotten into a little bit from an order that another guy had that ended up not getting back with me or anything like that. I don't know why. Straight razors. Camera's funny here. It's like it's reversed. It's like, ah!
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time I've done, a straight razor or anything like that. I might actually end up keeping it and using it myself, for trimming around the neck and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one thing that I've kind of gotten into, and got to move some stuff around on my bag here, or my box here. Get some other things here. Excuse me, Athena. This is kind of more of what I normally do. Forge finish knives, full tang, stuff like that. But yeah, that kind of stuff. Actually, strangely enough, I mean, you'd think that the clean finish blades would, sell more often for a lot of people. Forge finish blades is what I normally sell more often than not. Damascus, some people like it, some people don't.
Smoothed out, completely finished out, you still got some of the forge markings on it. Yep. Yeah, I got you. BC said that was a pretty sweet razor, Mr. Chris.
Thank you. I need to make some more. They're fun to make. Obviously a little simpler because of the fact that, okay, you forge out the tail of it and everything, the tang, whatever you want to call it in this case. Because I don't know if that would technically consider it as a tang, but different terminology, I'm sure, with a straight razor compared to regular knives. But yeah, they're just fun to make. So
I would probably maybe like a friction folder type of deal is kind of with the razor. I guess it'd be kind of like a friction folder or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they're very much a friction folder themselves due to the fact that they have, I'm sure, the same basic mechanism. As far as I've never made a friction folder except for that one. So, but yeah. And I think I had a few of these here over at the show last time that you were there, this style of hunting knife. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But this is one that I told you that another guy ended up wanting and then ended up having, I'm guessing, some money issues and ended up not being able to get it, which, hey, stuff happens sometimes. But that one there will be up at the end of the month. Will be up for sale over at the Ozark Trail Fest, where last time you and I met.
Roger.
So.
Mountain Moon Adventure says, I almost took off my toes with the razor sharp axe in the winter. Boots were in the snow. Hubby took blaze orange duct tape and put on toes of new snow boots so I would see where toes were. I just shaved my nails.
Ooh.
That's good times right there. That might make you pucker up just a bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that will. I was actually doing some work for the Corps of Engineers, doing the white line around the lake, helping out a buddy. And one of the other people with me, she just had me sharpen her machete for her so that way she can sit there and cut a little bit easier. And she actually ended up hitting the back side of my boot, which thankfully had, thick rubber soles. Yeah, and she hit that. I'm like, excuse me? She almost did it again a second time, and I was jokingly putting my machete back behind me to block, like, okay, she's going to do it again. Well, she ended up doing it again and hitting it. I'm like, excuse me? I'm walking past you. Don't hit me. So, Yeah.
I ain't no good. What kind of edge are you putting on the machetes? When I was hanging out with Joe Flowers at Blade Show, I went and done one of his classes. He said that he
Yeah.
would prefer a chisel grind on the machete. What's your opinions on
Um,
it?
well, that'd be something I'd have to test. One of the things I've been wanting to do, once again with the chef's knives, because that's another thing I've been wanting to kind of get into a little bit more, is testing out the difference between the regular double, I guess you say double grind there, get the right angle there, instead of the chisel grind. I'm going to test both of them to see what the differences are on that. But I've never thought about doing that on a machete. We're doing both sides of the machete as far as the grinds on it.
About 20 degrees or 17?
Yeah, somewhere around in there. We're using files to sharpen them, which not great, but that's what we had. That's what we're given from the guy that I was helping out. And it works, but it just eats away the metal. So you're going to start off with a nice thick machete, and it's going to slowly, you might get about 2, maybe 3 years worth of use out of that machete before it's kind of pointless to use.
Yeah, Roger.
So,
hey, BC, man,
but
take it easy. Water your garden, brother. Grumpy says that he likes a convex edge, and I'm a big convex guy myself.
Yeah. Convex grinds are great for whenever you're sitting there doing a lot of chopping tasks. Yeah, pretty much. The katanas, they actually have a slight convex to them too.
That's right.
Didn't know that.
That's right.
They sharpen them. So
that's because when you're slicing, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I know a little bit about it. I know that you know about it, but when you're slicing with a katana, if you have like a hollow grind or just a straight edge, it will go in there and the friction will stop it. But with a convex, it will peel it back like that, and just keep spreading, and it'll cut through a lot easier.
Yeah. And to think, with the hollow grind versus convex, the hollow grind, one little twist and that blade's either going to warp or break right there. So it's not as great for whenever you're using something heavy duty like that. I mean, you wouldn't think of a katana as heavy duty, but if you're cutting through bone or worse yet, armor or trying to cut through armor, you're not going to cut through armor really.
No.
But if you end up making contact with any of that armor, that
burlap armor,
hollow grind's going to sit there and either chip, break, or majorly deform, and you're out of the weapon at that point. Whereas that convex grind, it's going to handle that a lot better than that hollow grind's going to. And a flat grind will handle it, fine too. But with, like you said, that convex grind, it's tougher still.
Yeah, and I mean it pushes away and goes through instead of being collapsed on. Mountain Moon Adventures has the cold steel handed. She had the cold steel that she two-handed machete like swinging a bat, and I believe that's what horror movies are made of. And it's not October yet.
Not quite.
It's getting close. Getting close. The Halloween stuff at the Dollar General.
Yeah. No. One of the things I notice about the Ozark Trailfish, I get a lot of people that are interested in making knives. And one of the things I'm thinking about teaching them how to do is this little thing right here. It's real simple. It's a blacksmith knife. Lynn Ray has a cooler version of this, where he actually rivets right there on the knife. He actually has a little rivet that comes from the got to get the right angle every time. Comes right there from the blade, and it rivets through that little tail there. So, but I do something a little simpler. But Lynn Ray, he's over in Little Rock. He actually is the head blacksmith over at the Arkansas Historic Museum, and he's a master smith, and he's also a master blacksmith too.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, the guy is crazy good. If you guys got Facebook or anything like that, and you look him up, you'll see some pretty cool stuff.
What's his full name?
Lynn Ray, LINRHEA, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I had a. Oh yeah, I remember. You said that you have a lot of people coming up to you asking you to teach them how to become a blacksmith. I know that you come across this quite often, as I come across this in every genre that I go and do for a job, whether it's towboating, whether it's construction. You're always going to have people that comes up to you and is like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this?" And there comes a time where you're going to find one or two people that's actually going to follow through with what they're asking, because when it comes time to do the actual work, some people just doesn't want to put in that work. What's a test besides making that blacksmith knife that you want to give them before you'll actually try to teach them even to do a blacksmith knife?
That's a good question there. Well, if they get to the point of forging it out, the hard part actually is hand sanding, because hand sanding, it takes a lot more patience and stuff like that. Hitting a hot piece of steel is fun. I don't know anyone that doesn't think hitting a hot piece of steel is going to be fun.
I don't know. I think my wife.
So what?
I'm joking, man. It's a joke.
Okay, but no, everyone likes, everyone sees it on TV and all that. They're like, hey, that's cool. But hand sanding is the hardest part, I think, to enjoy. If you find me a knife maker that enjoys hand sanding, I can show you a guy that needs to go to a mental institution. So let's just put it that way. I don't think I know any of the other guys.
Something's probably wrong with them, huh?
Yeah. Anyone that enjoys it is just nuts.
Well, I hate sanding boats. I hate sanding trucks. I hate painting. I hate sanding sheetrock. So I probably will not like sanding knives.
No.
Now I love sharpening knives. Sharpening knives is fun.
Yeah. Well, sharpening knives, that's more. I don't know why hand sanding isn't like this, but sharpening a knife is more therapeutic, almost like cleaning a gun.
Yeah.
It's not really that difficult, even though some people make it out to be. I don't know why, but they just do. But I guess with hand sanding, you're trying to get all the scratches out and go in one direction, and you're trying to make sure you get all the previous scratches out of there before you move on to the next grit. So you're going to go from a 220 belt on my belt grinder, and then I start hand sanding from there. So I'll go 220, 400, or 320, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, depending upon if I'm doing something like Damascus where I'm going to etch it. Sometimes I'll stop at 600, but with sharpening, you're not worried about getting those previous grit scratches out. You're just focusing on getting that edge to apex and everything, and get always the angle, but you're trying to get that edge nice and straight and the way you want it there to cut. I guess for the first thing that my mentor got me on, as far as before you even get to the blacksmith knife and forging a knife out, how to straighten a piece of steel out, because you'll get a piece of steel that is warped one way or the other. One of the first things that JD had me do is he had a previously bent piece of steel, round stock, and he handed me that. And I've already at this point been making knives for about a year, and I was just wanting to get better. I was like, hey, I need to go to someone and learn. And I was learning off of YouTube and stuff like that. But you get someone there that's actually mentoring you and showing you how to do it. You get a lot better a lot quicker, if that makes any sense. But the first thing he had me do was straighten out a piece of steel. And honestly, it was I was sitting like, why am I doing this? And then he was like, well, I want to make sure that you know what you actually say which I get it. Now I'm like, that's actually probably a good thing for me to sit there and work on with other people.
It's a good little test to make sure that, this is my opinion, if you're motivated enough to do the shit that sucks, then you're motivated enough to actually follow through and do the task.
Yeah. And honestly, same thing with martial arts. You learn the basics before you moved on to the more advanced stuff. You start out white belt and you work your way on up to black belt, kind of.
Well, it's the same way that I did with towboat, and it's the same thing that I do with construction when I'm teaching. Hey, you got to learn how to pick up the tools and where the tools go.
It's the same way with anything in life.
Yeah.
So, which
Mountain Moon Adventure says she would love to learn medieval fighting. That would be cool. Not the modern forges, but ancient. Not the modern forge, but the ancient techniques. That would be fascinating.
yes,
Medieval forging.
yeah. With medieval martial arts, I think it's called HEMA. That's actually becoming more of a sport here. I think now in the U.S. I think it's over there in the U.K. and Europe that kind of kicked off, and they're bringing back, and then I think it's coming back over here to the U.S. I've seen some of the stuff, and a lot of the techniques are very similar, if not the same, in Eastern martial arts, because if you think about it, body mechanics and how our bodies work, they're all going to be the same. So with the weapon, depending upon if it's single edge or double edge, that will kind of dictate of how you use the weapon and how your body works with it for a sword or a knife or a dagger or whatever you're using. So a lot of the techniques end up being the same. But yeah, HEMA, I've seen some of the stuff on that and the full contact, full armor and everything on that. I'm like, dude, that would be fun. So
yeah, you could probably get away with a lot of stuff with all that armor on. Although mobility and ergonomics of your swings and everything probably wouldn't be the best.
It will change. It would change. So no, one of the things, speaking about medieval weapons, one of the things I've been wanting to do here, and I may end up doing here pretty soon, is I'm wanting to make a European style sword, because I've been working on guard fit ups for knives and everything. So that's basically the same principle as what you would do with a guard on a long sword. I don't know what kind of sword it would be. They have a whole bunch of different names for all the different kinds of swords, a hand and a half sword and this, that. I want to sit there and look up, okay, I want to get the size and dimensions and everything, and then I want to build it. But a lot of the techniques are the same as far as what I'm doing on the knives, are just bigger.
A lot bigger.
Yeah.
There's also a different there's different steels and alloys for knives than there is from swords. Swords have to be quite a bit softer. I mean, not really necessarily softer, but tougher.
Yes. And the way that you can do that, normally what I do is I actually temper my knives depending upon the size of the knife between 400 and 425. But when you work on bigger projects like that, and they're going to be getting a lot of use and abuse, you temper them down further than that, especially if it's like 1095. But like we talked about before with the leaf springs, 5160, those handle a lot more abuse, but you still temper them down, make sure that they have that toughness, on them. If I remember correctly, more of a spring temper is what you want for a sword like that. So that way it doesn't end up breaking on you, and it will flex rather than snap.
Roger that. Because when you snap your sword, you're pretty much shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Mountain Moon Adventures also says this goat farmer would swing a shovel around the head, run up, bear, run up. I would be so into that. Hard pass. Pretty much. She said that this goat farmer would swing a shovel round up her head. Run up, bear, run up, bear. I'm gonna fight a bear, basically. She would be so into that, and yeah, I'd probably pass. Let me
pass
go
on that too, personally.
Let me go get my 44 mag, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. No, my instructor here in town, he just had knee surgery and everything. He actually knows a guy that goes out hog hunting with Bowie knives, and he actually kills the hogs with his Bowie knife. And I'm like, okay, I can understand a bow and arrow and bow hunting for hogs and stuff like that, but getting down right there with the hog and stabbing it with a knife, I'm like,
well,
dude.
what they have doggo Argentinos and pit bulls, and the doggo Argentinos and the pit bulls will hold down the hog, and then you just go up and stick it. It's not really that big of a deal, especially if you know where to stick it. The best thing to do is to go ahead and get a deep cut on its neck,
and
or straight, a hog's body and a human's body, their organs are actually situated a lot similar to human beings. So all you
Okay.
really got to do is get in behind that shoulder, straight in, and you're cutting all of the lungs, the heart, the vessels, and it's going to bleed out
Okay.
fast in the body. So it's really not as big of a deal if you know what you're doing
Yeah.
as it sounds like.
Interesting. No, the Argentina ones, those are the expensive ones, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
about 2 to 3K.
Yeah. The guy that he goes out or went out with this last earlier this year, that's what he has. They ended up not getting any this year. I don't think. I can't remember if it's either they couldn't go or if they just didn't find any out there. But that's
Mountain
what he
Moon
has.
Adventures. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
No, you're good.
Mountain Moon Adventures. Check out Zachary Fowler. He has the Cold Steel shovel that the Spetsnaz used. It's modeled off the Spetsnaz shovel, and that's about the type of martial arts shovel you might need. I don't know if it'll kill a bear. I'm pretty damn sure it won't.
Like I said, I'll stick with my guns on that one.
Yeah. Well, she said the
Although,
ammo is very expensive in Canada.
oh, I don't doubt it. No, that
Trudeau is
one,
fucking things up.
yeah. No, JD, my mentor, he was telling me that whenever he lived up in Alaska, he's actually gone bow hunting for bear up there in Alaska.
Well, a compound bow is actually the best way to kill a bear. It will put
Yeah.
a bear down a lot faster than even a 30-06 will.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The arrow, when it hits a bear, it goes halfway in and it doesn't stop. It doesn't shoot through like it does our little teeny white-tailed deer.
Yeah.
And when the bear's running, those blades in there are going all over the place and crazy, and it's
Okay.
just cut the shit out of them.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, Greg Ovens is like my like I do the 3 day in the 2 week camping trips on the Buffalo River, and Greg Ovens is like my freaking hero. I love that dude. Zach's a little annoying. Dwayne Letterman, what's up? How you doing, man? She says that she knows Zach and Greg, and they're on their Facebook friends.
Okay. As Zach pops in and says, "Hey, I heard that." No.
Yeah, if Zachary Fowler got in on my live, I would fucking quit right now. I swear to God, I'd quit.
Can't you just sit there and block the comments? No. No. Like I said, trying out different things as far as knife making, sword making. That's one of the nice things about the guild is it gets you out of your comfort zone as far as, hey, I'm about to have a competition. We're going to be doing this, 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 and this. And I got to fit these certain parameters as far as my blade length, the thickness, and all that. So that's one of the nice things about it is it's a great learning opportunity for that kind of stuff and to expand your comfort zone and get you out of it at least,
Roger that. Well, I mean, it's we was talking a little bit about Forge and Fire, and there being some Arkansas Guild members that have went on to Forge and Fire and got third, second place. I think even one of them won it, right?
I think two of the guys that I know. I think Jonathan Caruso won his. I know that. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank, and I told you his name earlier too. Cliff Ivy. I can't remember. I haven't watched his episode yet. Cliff, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I still got to watch that episode. So don't tell me whether or not you won it or not yet.
Don't spoil it, man. Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it for me. I know it's aired and I know it's come on TV a couple times already, but don't tell me. And then there's he's over in Mountain View. Oh my goodness. Why am I forgetting his name? I didn't know that he was on Fortune and Fire whenever I first met him. I was like, man, he looks familiar. And JD told me, oh yeah, he's been on Fortune and Fire. I'm like, oh, cool. I haven't watched this episode yet. But yeah, we got 3 guys on in the guild that have been on Forged in Fire before. And then I've already put my application in for it. Haven't heard anything back yet, but Cliff was telling me he put his application in, and about a year and a half later, they contacted him. And then about a year later, after he competed, is when his episode aired. So about 2.5 years before, after putting in his application, at the very least, maybe 3 years, is whenever his episode finally aired. So
That's cool.
Fingers crossed, hopefully.
CJ Hunham says, what was Chris's favorite knife he ever made?
Ooh. Let's see here.
1 second. Mountain Moon, you can IG or Facebook. Facebook, I go by my actual name, which is Keith Luster, KEITHLUSTER. Instagram, of course, is My Bad Adventures. YouTube's My Bad Adventures. I'm not too strict on using my name or anything in a chat or anything. You can call me either My Bad or Keith. I don't give a shit. But yeah, you can message me on anything.
Yeah.
But go ahead. He was saying your favorite knife you ever made.
Favorite knife so far is the Damascus Bowie knife. And if you guys follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you'll see it. Or not YouTube. Wow. Instagram or Facebook. I don't have YouTube.
Oh, we're gonna get you a YouTube channel, bro. We're gonna collaborate and do that.
We'll start something. So.
Yeah.
But that Damascus Bowie knife, I think was my favorite build. It took me 3 months to do, but it was my first time doing a project that big. That was a hidden tang. It was a lot of fun. It was a $600 Bowie knife. That's in a collector's collection here in town. I went to get a knife store here in town.
That's where I bought my first Bark River, the Gunny Scandy.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Heber Springs Pawn Shop Knife Store. They are actually fantastic. You're not going to find a better knife store. I don't even think there's one in Little Rock that's better than that.
Not yet. I know a guy, he does my laser engraving for my maker's mark and everything. He's thinking about possibly doing the same thing that Ben's doing over at his shop, the Heber Gun and Pawn. Ben, he sits there and goes to different knife makers and buys their stuff to put over there in his shelves. He also has a lot of name brand knives and stuff, as you already know.
Yeah, Bitch made CRJ, freaking Kaiser, whatever.
Yeah,
crap ton of cases. We could go on Spyderco.
Oh yeah. And the guy that does my laser engraving is thinking about whenever he gets his shop, because he's wanting to do the laser engraving full time because he's getting more and more business, and he's stopped doing his older full time job. Now he's wanting to do that full time. He's wanting to possibly do a lot of stuff for knife makers and stuff like that. So we might end up getting one over in Little Rock here eventually.
That's cool. I'm about the same distance right now, living wise, as Heber. When is this is a question for me, of course.
Okay.
When is the Ozark Trail Festival?
September was it 30th, 31st, and October 1st. So it's that Friday, Saturday, I think. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so end of September, first day of October. Last day of September, first day of October.
That's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
My daughter's birthday is the 31st.
Oh, nice.
So she might want to go, but not everybody's is going to want to go up there. I might make it up there the first though.
Sounds good. If you do, bring me a sticker.
Oh man, I'll send you a whole sticker pack, man.
Hey, cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, man. When we get done with the live and everything, and we're back in the green room, just give me your address, and we'll go from there.
Definitely.
Okay, I love knives. What's up, brother? How you doing today?
I like his name.
I love knives. This is Chris Julian. He's a bladesmith from Arkansas. If you got any questions, man, shoot at him. Since we're at a little stopping point, little break point, I got a little package from Legion Tactical Cutlery, and he sent me some stickers to put on my wall. As y'all know, I usually do videos of this, but I got it today on a Tuesday, and I might as well go ahead and do it on a live. So y'all get a little bonus piece of putting up Legion Tactical's Cutlery stickers up on the wall. And the winner of tonight's giveaway is going to get a Legion Tactical Cutlery sticker as well, put in the sticker pack. So we got these two to put up on the wall. I like this sticker and I really want to, but it's too big. So I'm gonna put it to the side. It's gonna be one of the giveaway stickers in the future, and we'll put this one up on the wall.
Nice.
All right. There you go, Legion. So, do you already have a booth for the Ozark festival?
Yep. I
About
just
around
got that
the
here today. One of the guys that's involved in the Rotary Club, he actually contacted me to make sure if I'm still going or not. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still going. So he gave me the paperwork, and I just filled that out and gave him the check today. So I got the booth, same spot that I was in last year.
Prince Henry Stout says that he's a knife guy from the fifth dimension. Chris, have you ever made any knives in the fifth dimension?
No, I've not made anything in the fifth dimension. I've made things in the 3D, you know. So
Yeah. Okay. Old Fart with Sharp Things says, hello, everybody. What's going on, Old Fart? And yeah, Mountain Moon, I seen your message pop up. So we're good to go. I'll chat you up when we get off. Yeah, man. Speaking of that, if I make it up there on the first, I don't want to like set this in stone completely because I don't know exactly what's happening. But
okay.
if I make it up there, besides the stuff that I'm going to do with my daughters, as you know, I got two beautiful little girls that I love more than anything.
Yeah.
But how would you like to do a live at your booth?
Sounds good to me.
Would you mind that at all?
Not at all. It'll
Yeah,
give me
we
something to
could.
do because one of the things about shows that I learned is you got a lot of downtime where you're sitting there just watching people, or if you've got something to do in front of you, you know, you can hand sand knives, which sucks, but
Yeah.
or you know, work on other projects or design another knife and stuff like that. So that would actually be awesome if you came over and we did a live stream.
Yeah, man, we could do. I mean, we don't have to sit down and talk like we are on the live stream, but I can live. You doing a little bit of bladesmith. We can do a little bit of talking. We can talk to some customers. We can do a little bit of everything within the live stream. It doesn't have to be strict. Just
Yeah.
whatever happens is what's going to go down.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, that would be awesome. Since we did that unboxing, Bluminati, I know you haven't been here today. Prince A. Stout says hello, Mr. Grump. I think you've seen that. But Bluminati Ninja, got your sticker packet right here. I'll be shipping it out tomorrow. And Legion Tactical Cutlery, I've got yours right here. I'll be shipping it out tomorrow. Tonight's giveaway. Sticker pack I'm giving away, of course. You've already seen the Legion Tactical Cutlery. We got a NBA. We got a Zug Monster stickers, little cool little sticker out there. We got Said Stevie. We got a Mog. We got the original NBA. We got another NBA. And we got a Tactical Everyday Dad. And tonight's giveaway knife is the QSP Diva. Deva, however you say that. So let's go ahead and pop her out of the box, see what she looks like. Card says that the blade is 3.87 inches. It's in D2. It's a flipper that I believe is assisted. It's got G10 handles, a liner lock, and it's got a seatbelt cutter / can opener on the back. Here's that. Get it open, maybe. There's the bottle opener and the seatbelt cutter right there on the back end of the knife. Got your little glass breaker right there, and there is the blade. It's got a tip up pocket carry only, as this is a rescue knife. It was built to be a rescue knife, but that is the QSP Deva. What's going on, Canuck? How you doing? Todd Carr, how you doing tonight? I was just going over tonight's giveaway. Looks like a couple of y'all came in right in time to be into the giveaway. We got 14 people in it, so we're going to do a spread of 30. That spread of 30 is going to be from 20 to 50, and Chris Julian is going to be our guest tonight, so he gets to pick the number. The spread is 20 to 50.
Okay.
Once you get it, tell me. Don't show anybody. You ain't got to tell me what it is. You got it?
I'm ready.
All right. Go
written
time
down
is now. You got until 1:03. We're at 1 hour right now. 1:03. 1 hour, 3 minutes. That's right. Grumpy Grunt's got the rules down. Memory.
He just subscribed a little bit ago on my Instagram. I saw that notification pop up on my phone. So thanks, Grumpy.
Yeah, Grumpy's a fantastic member of our community. One of the best friends I got out here, him, Matisfaction, King Raven, Brothers and Knives, Salted Red Corn. That's my homies right there. There's Matisfaction right there. As a matter of fact, just stepping into the live Matisfaction. This is Chris Julian. He's a bladesmith from Arkansas. Once we get done with the giveaway, we'll talk for about 15, 20 more minutes. And if you got any questions for Chris, please put them in the comments section.
Definitely. I like questions.
What's going, Sharp Guy? ATX. Evening to you too, sir. Yeah. No, it's all good. Matisfaction, I start at 6 p.m. Central, so that'd be 5 p.m. your time Mountain. What's going on? If you win again, sis, about 20 knife guys that live near me is probably going to cut my nuts off. My logs are going to be gone.
Let's not have that happen.
Well, it logs in Bisaya means two things. One is it's eggs, like chicken eggs, quail eggs, whatever. The other's your balls.
Yeah. Saw you had a video about your quails hatching earlier too. I haven't watched that one yet.
It's 5 p.m. now. You're West Coast Matisfaction? I thought that you was Mountain. I'm sorry about that, bro. All right, we got 30 more seconds, and then we're closing it off. And then we'll have to go back and scroll back through and find out which one it is.
I just realized
15 seconds.
The camera's backwards, so my number is going to be backwards.
No, it'll be all right.
Yeah,
I've got that dyslexia anyway, so I'll be able to read it real easy.
It helps out in some things.
That's right. All right, time's up. What's the number?
31.
31. Let's see what we got here. So we got a 24. Anything above 24, but below 31. We got 29. Iggy with a 29. Thank God she's above 31. I get to keep my balls. I believe that we got a 29 of Iggy. Iggy's tonight's winner. Iggy, email me with your address. I think I already have it. Besides that, you're sending me a package as soon as I get that package in a couple days. I'll send it right back to you, Iggy.
Congratulations, Iggy. Yeah, I turned 31 this year, so that's the reason why I chose that number.
My Bad Adventures got a call saying I got your package. We'll be checking it out when I get home, brother. Can't remember what I sent you, Todd. Might have just been stickers. Iggy with another win. Laugh out loud. My wife is laughing at me, and then so is her sister. Cool, Iggy. Congrats, Iggy on fire. Hot with the Iggy win. Congratulations. I guess she's been winning a lot lately. All right. Hiya, Miss Bad, Mountain Moon Adventures, and saying hi to my wife from Canada. At least she ain't getting Americanized. Happy belated birthday, Chris, Iggy says.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions for Chris as we go on into the live for another 15 to 20 minutes? One question I would have is that some people said, what was your favorite blade? What was your favorite blade steel? What was your favorite blade steel to have? What I'm going to ask you, you said that you have recently gotten back into folders, mostly from watching my channel and everything.
Yeah.
What folders interest you that's on the market? What kind of production knife folders are you interested in?
I think it's either Fox or Benchmade that makes it. It's a karambit, and it's a folder, but it has the little hook at the end that engages the blade as you pull it out of the pocket. So you
That
have
would
the
be
fingering.
Spyderco.
Spyderco? Okay,
Spyderco.
I couldn't remember who made it, but the fingering stays just outside of the pocket. It's easy to sit there and pull out and deploy. So, with me being self-defense mindset on that kind of stuff, that'd be one thing. But as far as, I'm still kind of, trying to figure out a good work knife. Something like that right there would be a nice little work knife.
This is called a snaggletooth right here. It does the same thing as the Emerson Wave does.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna break a rule. I never ever do this. I'll let y'all see everything else around here. Just for this one occasion, I've already done it for the review on this knife. So let's go ahead and change the camera angle.
Oh my goodness, you actually have pants on during this thing.
So this is what this does. Already deployed.
Nice. Huh.
As soon as that tooth, as you can see, it's not deployed. Deployed. As soon as that tooth is chance, it comes out and deploys.
And what brand is that? An Emerson, you said?
Oh no, this is so Emerson Wave is the technology. That's what the technology is called, and that was designed by Emerson. And he's got his own blades and his own blade brand, which is Emerson. But the Matriarch, Spyderco Matriarch, and other Spydercos have Emersons on it, such as the Indela, the Endura. I think some Delicas have it. But the one that you're talking about is Spyderco Matriarch, I believe, is what it's called. Okay. And yeah, that's the snaggletooth that's on my Cold Steel Recon 1. That and the pocket clip, and I believe that Rusty Knife Lover is the one that put it all on that. Then he sold it to my boy Mateo of Embalm Jerky. And besides that, I got to do a little promo from my boy Mateo. I got to eat me some of this jerky just to make you guys and gals jealous.
You're making me jealous because all I had was hot dogs.
From Embalm. But yeah, he Rusty Knife Lover sold to Mateo. Mateo traded it to me, and that's how I ended up with it. I love it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, man! It's 60 degrees here in Arkansas in the morning, so I get to bust out my felt hat now.
Yep.
And my leather hat's coming up next. Summertime, I'm all flip flops and baseball hats. Wintertime, I'm all boots and felt hats and leather hats.
I'm boots year round. I'm weird. People look at me. It's like, why aren't you wearing shorts? It's like 98 degrees outside. I'm like, and your point?
What's going on, Mimo? If you're not subscribed to Michael Morgan, please go subscribe. He didn't even wait until he had 100 subscribers before he put out a short. He got to 75 subscribers and started becoming a YouTuber, a content creator, a knife peddler. So congratulations, Mimo. I appreciate you putting out that content. I told you I'd get you to 100. I'm still going to push for you for 100. But besides that, my guy that was on here, we need to get him up to 200 pretty quick. If we do, I forgot your name, man. If you're still on here, please say something. I'm having a brain fart right now. What your name is? I always have bad memory, but it is what it is.
I'm horrible with names too, so.
But yeah, I'm so happy Memo's putting out content. He did it of the 0562 of Zero Tolerance, which is a Rick Hinderer design, and I believe it was designed off of the XM18, and it's a wonderful knife. It's not my cup of tea, but I can't hate on it. It's just I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the first blade that you were super proud of? And that question comes from Mountain Moon Adventures.
Okay.
How long ago? I think she said, when did you make your first blade that you were proud of? So I kind of said it in the wrong way. So I guess how long ago?
Well, I'll answer both questions. So the first knife that I made was back in, I can't remember if it was 2016, 2017. My grandfather had a whole bunch of junk that he left over here when he moved over to California. He left it on the farm. So I found a jackhammer bit. And the first way I forged was, dug a hole in the ground, took some 2-inch black iron pipe and a blow dryer for my air supply. And I used coal for my forge. And I used some wood too if I ran out of coal. But I forged it out of a jackhammer bit. And that knife turned out to be a banana knife. So it curved up real far. So it would have been great for skinning. For other stuff, it'd be a little bit harder to do. I ended up losing that knife out in the middle of the woods. I was out on a camping trip with one of my buddies and made a kind of a crappy sheath and ended up losing it out there in the woods, which sucked. But
did that losing of that? I'm sure that it was an extremely sentimental item. Did that losing of that sentimental item make you a better sheath maker?
Yes, actually it did. So kind of like, when something bad happens, but you learn from it and you build upon that, it sucks when it happens, but at the same time, it helps you out. Yes, it made me a lot better of a sheath maker. A lot of knife makers, they don't like making sheaths. I don't particularly like making them, but at the same time, I don't mind making them as much. And honestly, I actually started out making leather items before I started making knives. So
to answer you, Memo, if there's a link for Chris, Chris is on my Instagram. So if you can find my followers on Instagram, he will be in there. His name's Chris Julian. If not, I'm going to post him right after this live in the description of this live. So you can come back to it, go to the description and find him. And I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to post it on my Instagram. So you'll be able to find Chris Julian on Instagram.
Just be looking for my ugly mug.
Well, he's kind of doing some kind of karate kick. He fancies him Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Actually, when I took that picture, I was up on Pinnacle Mountain. I was actually clean shaven, so my ugly mug might look a little less ugly.
You ain't as ugly as some of them hillbillies up there.
Thanks.
That's a backhanded compliment.
I at least have all my teeth.
Yeah. I'm missing too, so you got me beat.
Oh. Hey, I have all my wisdom teeth too.
Hey, Slingshot, I'll go check it out. I've been pretty sick and pretty down. Some unfortunate things have happened lately. I haven't really been that social, just been kind of like watching the same knife material over and over again just to make my ass happy. My wife literally Sunday told me if I didn't quit watching YouTube, she was going to leave me. JD Edwards says, hey, Chris, and Tom Weingart says, hey, Chris, as well.
Awesome. Yeah, JD, he's my mentor. like I said, I started off watching YouTube videos, and then met him over at a gun and knife show over in Conway, and we got together there, and we went from student and instructor, mentor to friends, and we hang out every so often. Eventually, I got to get back up there and hang out with him some more and do some plumbing for him too.
KC, you're talking about Knives Fast had George St. Pierre on his live last night? That is insane. Satisfaction of all jumping squirrels. Mountain Moon Adventure said, supper is done. Beer 30 for me. Cheers, long day. Hey, Mountain Moon, I enjoyed you in the chat. I appreciate you coming by. Satisfaction says, all geez, Tom Weingart is here. Slingshot Warrior says, I understand, bro. Yeah, man, I'm still getting over sickness. I think Chris is too. I've been puking blood and all kinds of crap.
Ew, that ain't good.
Yeah, it's just like sinuses. My nose starts bleeding and gets clogged up.
When mine dry out, that's what mine do too.
Iggy, I'm getting better. I just can't breathe, or like my sinuses are so messed up. I can't hear in this ear because it keeps on popping in and out. Sucks. No, he had Brian from Blue Creek Knives, who happens to look a lot like GSP. So you're saying I can kick his ass, Grumpy? Oh, Chris is an awesome guy. Okay, yeah. I guess Brian from Blue Creek Knives is an awesome guy, and JD Edwards says you are too. I guess JD knows them both.
Thanks, JD. JD is actually really awesome. He served in the military. He was 82nd Airborne. So he's done a lot of cool stuff in his life.
I was just a nasty girl, Oh, wrong one. 39th Infantry, baby. Just the old National Guard, 240 gunner, Thomas a gunner. But we had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you're a fireman and in good shape doesn't mean you can fight, Grumpy. I think you ought to know that as being a Marine and everything, brother. I mean, you're a Marine and you can't fight.
Now we're getting the military branches going after each other. JD, you might need to get onto this, man.
No, man, Grumpy, I'm just joshing you anyways, brother. I love you to death, man. You're my best bros. JD, what battalion? I was Delta Company 2nd 153rd, brother. Weird, Tom. All right. I hunt like the Orkin Man, Satisfaction. What does that mean? So Tom Weingart, he hunts like the Orkin Man. I remember.
So crawling on your belly, looking for small insects?
Yeah. Maybe. There's a reference there that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Oh, Satisfaction's a pest. That's what Tom was saying. Is Satisfaction's a pest. Nemo says he doesn't have to fight. He's a crack shot with a handful of feces at 15 yards. Oh, Grumpy grunt. We're busting out the grumpies for that. He's flinging poo at you. Those are Grumpy Grunt's little monkeys he sent me. He's a hell of a damn good guy. Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
So that's one of the things about the knife maker community. You have a lot of great people in the knife maker community, and even knife collectors.
Man. This is the best community I've ever been a part of. These people are so giving, so informative, so loving, so understanding. It's unbelievable. I love every single one of you guys.
Yeah.
The Orca Man is a pest exterminator, is what Tom said, which I had gotten, and then Mimo got the gorilla up, JD said my youngest was Doc Edwards, second of 153rd. Oh, that's cool. He was a doctor. That was awesome, man. I was a combat life saver for most of my career. I hated getting stuck. I hate needles, anyways. But what I would do before I did those CLS classes is I would get freaking wicked hammered the night before because I knew I was getting stuck with a needle, anyways. And an IV bag is the only thing that will cure a hangover in like 5 minutes, and you're fine. It's like it never even happened. So you can get hammered drunk, like nasty hammered drunk. All right, so Tom Carr says, glove thrown down. He's tired of this crap. Get out of the corner, Tom and Maddie. I swear every time I turn around, you two are going at it. What's going on, Forrest? Forrest SLR. I gotta give a shout out to Forrest of Forrest Tanks. There it is. This is the third place giveaway of the 500 subscriber giveaway. This is donated by Forrest LSR of Forrest Tanks. You can catch him on the Instagram. I'm sure that somebody's going to put it up.
Especially this time of year where runny noses are very common.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Todd. I will behave. Matisfaction is going to behave now. Grumpy says, Forrest. Pinches. Forrest. Every evening, Forrest. Want my fly swatter, Todd. Works grandma here. That's what Mountain Moon Adventure said. Forrest SLR. Hey, buddy. Maddie. A whole bunch of people saying hi. JD says my sons were both second and 153rd. That's awesome, JD. I know that you was probably like regular military and everything, but I'm sure that you know about Arkansas's National Guards, especially our infantry National Guard. It's one of the best top-rated National Guards in the nation, period. We've been deployed more times than anybody else, and I believe that we got, I mean, this ain't nothing to brag about, but, I mean, it happens. We have the most confirmed kills in Arkansas than any other infantry unit. I love Nas says, laugh out loud. Iggy says, please don't Matisfaction. And I'm caught up. Combat Med. My son taught the CLS classes. Yeah, I bet he did. If he was in there back in my day, back in 2004 and 5, he would have saw a freaking wreck of a 19-year-old boy standing there getting a CLS. Can't even find his veins. He's so dehydrated, so hungover, it wasn't even funny.
Wow.
Tom Weingart says, blood pressure down, please, Todd Carr. If we don't bust on each other, you'd think we were mad. Well, I mean, I don't want to see this. I don't care about y'all busting on each other or anything. That's just nasty, man. Y'all can fight and everything y'all want to, but don't start busting on each other. I mean, Matisfaction is Keister's got to have a little bit of, downtime. Let it rest. Let it rest. Now, Chris, man, you got anything else for the people out there? We had up to 20 during the comedy hour bit. Now we got 17. If you got anything else to share, brother.
Well, nothing really too much. If there's any people that eventually will watch this on YouTube or anything like that that are interested in making knives or learning how to do that kind of stuff, Arkansas Knife Makers Guild, like I said, is a great way to get into that stuff. You'll meet a lot of guys that will be willing to teach you a lot of great information. Like I said, it's only like $40 a year to join, and monthly meetings every month, end of the month. Except I think this December and possibly November, depending upon how we work things. I don't know yet, but end of every month we have a meeting, depending upon where it is. Usually the time's around 10 o'clock, and it's always on a Saturday, last Saturday of the month. So, yeah, other than that.
Your competitions, this is the last question that I have. Your competitions, is that open to the public, or is that just within the guild?
It's open for the public to come watch, but in order to compete, you do have to be part of the guild.
I want to document and be a content creator, YouTuber.
Yeah.
Would it be open for me?
I'm sure we'd be more than happy to have you down there. One, it's content for you, but it's also advertisement for us. So, we're always open to have more members. We want to get our stuff out there as much as possible too, because one, it'll get the group out there. It will also get our knives out there, which means someone might see that and say, "Hey, I like that guy's knife," and they'll end up coming to us and contacting us and getting a knife. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be more than happy. And like I said earlier, while we were talking before we started the live stream, I'd be more than happy to sit there and talk with some of the guys and possibly get them in touch with you to either interview them or, review some of their knives and stuff like that too.
Absolutely. I'm always looking for people to come on and talk, especially if they're knowledgeable, such as yourself within the subject, and especially if you have something especially if you have something to bring to the table, such as your knives, your expertise, the things that you do, your experiences within our community. It's something to get out there. I would love to feature some more of your knives and some things that you might be selling in the future to put it out there to my viewers.
Mm-hmm.
As for the guild goes, I would love to come to one of y'all's competitions. So you're in touch with me on IG. I believe that you also have my cell phone number, and if you don't, I'll give it to you later.
All right.
Please keep in contact with me on anything that y'all within the guild are open for me to come to.
Definitely. Will do.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the show. Please give me a good old like, share, subscribe, comment on my bad's videos, tell my bad what you'd like to see. Get in the comments section right after this video. If you need Chris's information, I'm gonna post it on Instagram, and I'm gonna put it in the description after this live is over. So once that's up on the YouTube sphere, you'll be able to get it there. His IG, and if you want to see Chris again, I will definitely book him again. If y'all have some more questions, that would be fantastic. This was a great introduction to what Chris does and the Arkansas Guild as well. And I appreciate everybody that came and watched. Y'all have a good night.
See you guys later.